You know how you do some of your best thinking when you're driving sometimes, and just want to share a couple of little things with you about some issues that I'm dealing with this month. March is it's a beautiful month. It's the month we start seeing, the transition from winter to spring. But it's a little bit of a sad month for me. And I'm going to try to get through this without crying. But the month of March, I lost two really important women in my life. On March 21st, 2012, my sister, she was 7 years older than me. She was 60 at the time. Her husband come home and found her in the kitchen floor. And we're not really sure what happened to her. Her children chose not to have an autopsy, and that was totally their decision. I totally get it. But she had been having some health issues. She was a nurse, but she was a retired nurse. But she had been having some health issues, and she had been having some issues with her teeth. As a matter of fact, she had a dentist appointment the day that she passed away, and she had called and canceled it the day before. But I talked to my sister every single night on the phone at 10 o'clock. She would call me every single night, and I would tell her, Gail, I've got to get up and go to work in the morning. Now, this has got to be short, and before I know it, it would be 12 o'clock, because we would get to talking and laughing and cutting up, and now it's just some of my most treasured memories. I lost my mother when I was very young. I was only 28 years old when I lost my mother. So my family, my 3 sisters and my 3 brothers, we cling to each other. And I had lost a brother in 2008 as well. We were expecting his. But Gail, my sister, we was not expecting hers. And it was very traumatic. And it took me a really long time to get over. But, well, you never get over it. But to just get back to a functioning level. Every night I'd go to bed, I would cry myself to sleep, and this wasn't just a week or two, this was months. This turned into a year, and my doctor even had me diagnosed with, I forget exactly the term, but it was something like extreme grief syndrome, and it meant that I had just taken this very, very hard and was having a hard time getting past it. And everybody grieves differently. There's no right or wrong way. It's just whatever how long it takes you to process it. Everybody goes through the different grieving processes differently. And, it was, anyway, she passed away March the 21st of 2012. And then last year, one of my very best friends, we'd been friends for over 30 years. She actually used to work for me when I was a supervisor back in the day at this particular job that I worked. And we ended up being very good friends, and remained friends, many, many years after we no longer worked together. We had been through so much together, and she was always there. She was, the most caring person. Now, she was the type of person that she would just, if you wanted to know the truth, Just ask her. Just ask Wanda. Wanda would tell you the truth. She didn't sugarcoat anything. But she just had the sweetest spirit about her, too, and the most caring, compassionate heart. And we had been through so much together. It was some of the best and worst years of my life. But she was always there through the good and the bad, through children's, graduations, through, weddings, showers, grandbabies. I shared it with her. She had a set of grandbaby twins, and I had a set of grandbaby twins, and we had them once that we become friends. So it just, made our bond, that much tighter. And actually, her maiden name is what my married name is now, but there's no relation. But anyway, it was a year yesterday since she passed, and she had been sick. And I had called her. I'd been calling her for a few weeks, and sometimes she could talk, and sometimes she couldn't. And I had called her on Thursday, and she says, "Teresa, I'm going to have to let you go." She goes, I'm having a really hard time. I'll call you back. And I said, okay. And so I, just let it be. And I thought about her over the weekend. I thought, well, I'm just going to wait for her to call me. And it was on a Sunday morning, and my phone rang, and I looked down, and it was her number. And I got all excited, and I thought, oh, good, Wanda's feeling better. And when I answered the phone, it was her sister. And she had gotten Wanda's phone, and she was calling people in her contact list to let them know, or certain people. And when she told me that, my heart just crushed. It was very, very difficult. And I was planning a trip. As a matter of fact, we were packing. We were getting ready to walk out the door, and I started not to go because a similar thing happened the week that my sister passed away. I was planning a trip as well. I ended up going on that one and got real upset and had to come home. But I said, Wanda always wanted people to be happy, and she would want me to go on this trip. I was going to visit my daughter that lives in another city. And so I went on. I was sad. And I cried a lot of the way, and just, reminisced, memories about her. And, but it's a hard month for me. March is a beautiful month, but it's bittersweet for me. But anyway, just wanted to share that with you. And if you're going through any type of grief, just know everyone grieves at their own pace, and there's no right or wrong way. And don't let people make you feel less or that you're not handling it correctly, because there's no right or wrong way. You handle it at your own pace. And, reach out. Reach out if you need to for help. And, ask others, if you need to talk, because it is a hard thing to go through. So I just wanted to share that with you, and I hope it helps. And I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless you.